Hello my creative friends. It has been ages since I've done a video, and I just, I really miss sharing my art process with you. So I'm just going to jump right into it once again. And I have a tag here that I've done one side of already. I'm going to do the other side because I like to do my tags double-sided. And I have no idea what I'm going to do, but I just want to muck around with paint and have a little fun and de-stress and start the new year with a bit more painting, which I really miss doing, and I really have not enough time to do lately. So yeah, the background's not looking too beautiful right now. Even has some things stuck on there, but it doesn't matter because I'm just going to cover it with paint, and then hopefully it will turn out into a pretty tag. All right, let's just get to it. Now, as you guys know, I use Liquitex Basics as my main acrylic paint. So I'm going to, that one's almost finished. I'm going to finish that one up, I think. I'm going to pick a few colors, a few of my favorites. It's always easiest to, if you haven't done a lot of art for a while and you're trying to get back into it, it's just easier to pick colors you're familiar with. That way you don't have to think too much. You just can concentrate on the process rather than, the bits that can distract you easily. So let's just do it. Let's put our fingers in there and paint. Okay, so that's my background done. Let me explain the thought process behind what I did here. So first I started with three colors that I know go great together. And these are medium magenta, cadmium yellow light hue, and light blue permanent in Liquitex Basics. I've just finger painted a few blobs of colors in the background, and then I did some little art marks with my finger. Basically we've got three colors. I did three art marks that are similar but different at the same time. Some little lines, medium size, some longer ones, then some little dots. And I've contrasted the colors by using the pink on top of the yellow on top of the blue, and then the blue on top of the pink. So it all goes together and it still creates texture and contrast without anything clashing against each other, basically. Now to continue with the little sort of grungy background, I'm going to do some scribbles on top, just some very illegible text, again just for interest and texture. And I don't want that to be the primary focus. I still want the background colors to shine, so I'm going to use a fine tip pen. This is a Uni Posca in black, and I'm just going to do some random scribbling. Okay, just completely legible. It doesn't mean anything. Don't try to read it because I didn't even know what my hand was doing. It just went into spastic mode. But the point is to just add some texture here. And if you didn't want to do that, you could just use maybe a text stamp, so something with like some thin written words or paragraphs or something like that, and just stamp that in black. But it needs to be light and not be the primary focus. That's basically what I'm going for. Okay, now I'm going to pause for a minute just to have a think of what to do next. Okay, next I've decided to add a little bit more texture in the background using some stamps and some black archival ink. I'm going to use this new Stitulite Grunge stamp set. This is stamp SL503. It's available in my store at mixedmediastore.com.au if you want to grab one. And it's got some really cool designs. I really like those. Really cool art marks, a few different things that would work great in a lot of backgrounds. That's why I decided to keep this one for myself. And now let's pick this one with the lines here. That's pretty cool. I've used it before and I really liked the effect that it gives. A little bit like corrugated cardboard, I guess. Now, I'm not going to press too hard. I just want to add a little bit here and there. Just like that. Pretty cool. And then I'm just going to stamp the excess off onto another tag. Some texture for later. Let's see what else we could do from this stamp set. We could add a few more dots. I'm thinking I was going to add some black dots with acrylic paint, but why not use these little circles here and do the same with the black ink since it's right here. I'm going to start with the small one. That will sort of echo those little dots that I put up there. Just like that. And then what could we do? I don't want to add too much stamping. I don't want it to get too crazy. I could actually use the circle here. That could be nice. Again with the black ink. I just need a bigger acrylic block. There we go. Can't go wrong with circles. I love them. And this is a very lightweight design, so it shouldn't impact too much. That's great. So I'm going to add a few more. Yeah, that's really like that. Simple, but it just adds something without overpowering the whole background, which is cool. Okay. Okay, this is where we're at. It's coming together nicely. I'm gonna put these things away and have a think about what to do next. Okay, so I went through my little pile of like things I've cut out and stamps and little pieces of paper that I keep to add as embellishments on my tags and art journal pages, and just chose a few little elements. So there's two elements here. These two, this one was just stamped on watercolor paper, and then I just colored it with watercolors. And then this one, I printed that off the internet, and then I printed it on watercolor paper, and again just watercolored it. And then I'm going to put these together. So I also cut out these little bits of paper, random pieces. I was thinking of putting them like the kind of washi tape sort of thing, like something like this here. Maybe a little bit here. And then I was thinking of using part of this maybe up to here, and then putting this crazy little lady right there, maybe on top of the border. Yeah, maybe if she's sitting on top of the border here, sort of in the center mostly. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut this bit up and then glue everything with gel medium. I use Liquitex matte gel medium. This is a big jar, almost 1 kilo, and I go through a lot. There's not that much left in there. So yeah, I glue stuff a lot, it seems. All right, now just one little tip. When you're using gel medium, as you may be aware, it does wreck your bristles if you don't wash your brush very carefully, and it's very hard to clean as well. So the best tool to apply something like this, I find, is the silicone brushes from Art Basics by Finnabair. So Finnabair silicone brushes. This is a 2-inch. That's a little bit big just for this small thing. I have another one, let me find it. The other one is 1 inch. So it's good to have both. They're not very expensive and they're just very useful. So easy to clean because this is just a flexible piece of silicone. So it's a bit stained on mine. I've been using it so much, but you know, perfect for applying gels, gesso, that sort of thing without ruining your brushes. Okay, I'll get on with it. Okay, I think everything's mostly dry, mostly covered in paint, that's for sure. Just gonna check everything's glued properly. It's still a bit wet underneath. I was generous with my gel medium. I want to make sure that nothing's going to come off. Just going to cut just a little excess here, both sides. So this is where I am now. I'm thinking I was keeping this blue paint in case I was going to need it again. Don't think I will. So I'm just, instead of wasting it, I'm just going to put it on another tag for later. Guys, don't waste your paint. You save your money to buy your art supplies. So make the most of them. Use as much as you can. This will add a little bit of color for next time I'm starting a tag. Okay, so back to this crazy lady. Now, I'm not sure whose design it is, by the way, but it's pretty cool. All right, so there's not too much to do now. I'm thinking of doing a black border just to echo the black dots in the background, the black writing, the black of the stamp, and maybe a couple of little lines around each element, a bit of a shadow, but not really. To do that, I'm going to use a distress marker. Let's go. I haven't got many. I've got only 2 or 3 of those, and I'm pretty sure they're discontinued now. So if you can find them and you want them, just grab them now. Distress marker. This one is called Hickory Smoke. So I'm thinking just a couple of very thin lines, just, you know, like a little shadow sort of thing around some of the elements, just to make them stand out a little bit. Quite often I will use a marker or an ink pad to go around the edges of elements that I cut out, just to remove the white edge. It looks a little bit neater, but I didn't do it on this one. So I'm just sort of doing an alternative way of doing that with this marker. Just, you know, a very thin shadow. It doesn't have to be precise or anything. It just helps the elements stand out from the background just a teeny bit. And I'm using this one because, or this color in particular, because it's quite light. Don't want it to stand out. Just want to add a little something. There, around the little birthday cupcake. Okay, I think I'll just keep going around these ones. Why stop now? And here, and the thin line here. Okay, and then it makes sense to go around this last element too. Very lightly. Okay, that's it. Now all I'm going to do is add a little black border as I mentioned. I think I'm just going to use my ink pad and I'm just going to go around it like this, make it a little bit grungy on purpose. And this will tie in all the elements together. Super easy, right? Anyone can do this, I promise. Okay, this is looking pretty fun and colorful. Let's see. I could certainly add a quote there. And maybe I will. I'm just going to go through my little stash of words and quotes, see if I can find something that fits the design. Something silly and quirky, I'm thinking, just because she looks so crazy. So let's have a look. Okay, I think that one would be quite fitting. At the bottom it says, I admit that my weirdness is above the national average, but I'm comfortable with that. Yes, I can relate, absolutely. So let's see how that's going to fit. That's a really long quote though. So what do we do with that? Well, obviously I'm going to cut it down. It's going to be hard because there's not much spacing between the words. And then, no, I mean, we could put it on the side. That could be an idea. I could go here, but then I'd lose a lot of the yellow. So maybe this is not the right tag for it. Maybe it's just a bit too long for this one. Let's find one that's a little bit shorter. Okay, keep watching. Okay, this one's kind of fun too. It says, I'd like to announce I have no idea what I'm doing. I think that's going to be the one. This one's not super well printed. It's not very well centered on the black background. So I'm going to cut closer to it and then I'll cut it in half as well. And then I will glue it with some gel medium. Even though it's got a sticky background, these, you know, can easily peel off when you're not looking. So just to be safe, use a bit of gel medium. It doesn't cost anything, well, not much. It doesn't take long. So I think I'm going to cut it. Let's see. Like to announce. And then I have no idea what I'm doing. That seems like the fitting spot to cut. So we'll do that. And then cut it shorter. Okay, a little bit more gel medium on top for good measure, just that way I know it will never come off. And we are done. I'm just going to give it a little drying. Just so I can show you without putting my fingers in the glue. And I think I'm done. Obviously a lot of the work was already done because I had already created some of the elements, like the girl and the border, and yeah, that's it pretty much. If you do that, this is a piece of advice I can give you, is when you're not really feeling like doing actual art or a whole page or a whole tag, or maybe you're just watching TV, you know, just want to keep busy, then print out a few elements or just doodle, or, you know, just use some watercolor paper, some watercolors, just do something, keep yourself busy and create some elements that you can use later when you don't have much time, or you don't want to have to think too much, like was the case for me today. I didn't want to think too much. I just wanted to be able to put things together and just make it work. So this is why I already had those elements ready to go, and I have a little box of things like that I keep, you know, little bits of papers from from magazines, little, you know, things from bits of cardboard, little tags, just anything that you think, oh, I could use that. So anyway, hopefully that you find that helpful. Let me show you up close the finished tag. Nothing's peeled off yet. And I haven't even put anything glittery or metallic on this one, so I must be really sick or something. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. So this has given you a little bit of inspiration. Make sure to come visit me at mimibondi.com and see what else I've got up there for you. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.